This could get sticky.
Just coming down here, I was like poking around here, going back and forth, trying to get through this little bit. And then I finally tried to come up here and literally just bumped up that little bit of a lip, and then it kind of stalled a bit. And I was like, all right, so then I put it in low from high, and then I put it in low and put a bit of torque into it. High temp came up straight away, and then she just fizzled out water. So
I'll jam some water in it, we'll start her up.
Yeah, you probably start her up now, Benny.
Yep, just get a bit more in it because there's nothing.
oh, wait, put that air filter back in.
Like it's a 300k round trip to town out here, so if something goes wrong, you need to be able to fix it.
And it's about a 20-kilometre drive back to camp.
Yeah,
Understood, yeah.
which will be towing him back. So you need to be able to fix the majority of things, or at least know how to get them so you can start them and punt home or get out of a situation like this, because to be towed out of here is not a good spot. Been in the bush and my whole life I'm pretty handy at fixing things, so 9 times out of 10 we can get things out of trouble, eh? Yeah, that's my job. I'm the fixer, they break it.
Mate, straight out of the artesian. It's lovely and warm. And after a big day in the dust and the heat, that is just gold. Absolute gold. Well, we've knocked over about 100 and God knows kilometres today with no real luck. We did shoot a good wild dog about 40 k's that way. So we're just going to head back now, have a couple of beers, and then I'll set up the buggy for some spotlighting tonight, and we'll go get into it. Go do the miles.
What do you reckon, Benny? They're up here somewhere?
Yeah, somewhere in it. Oh, back there. Look, there's the rope.
Black string's a bit hard to see.
I know, we need to change it to fluoro orange. We can see it from a mile
Hope you had a
away.
bit more luck than yesterday. You only got a couple.
You got him?
Ladies first.
Always ladies first.
No, nothing
No?
in here.
Oh, big, yeah.
Oh yeah, little fishy.
Fishy one. Well, the Abin's a bit tough, bit like the Pegan, eh? Far out.
I'll do the old Rex hunt.
What have we done? 400 k's in 2.5 days, and 5 yabbies, and 1 little wheat pig. What a day. Ben Carew, but everyone calls me Benny. I've been an international livestock trader and cattleman since I was a kid. Pretty well worked all over the world, from the Middle East to Russia and the US. Now we have a cattle operation at Wowan, which is about 100 kilometres west of Rocky, which we run Wagyu cattle there. So that's me and my 2 kids, Bobby and Luca, we run that side of our business. And we've just developed VNTR Ops in the last 12 months to showcase hunting, fishing and camping all over Australia, and take you guys on an adventure to some amazing places like where we are here now. I love the fact that you can switch off, you can come out into these beautiful places, see countryside that you've never seen. Being a cattleman, I really love seeing the cattle. Look, you're not always going to get onto pigs, you're not always going to find your things you want to shoot, or you're not even going to catch the fish you want to fish. You know, I'm out here with my 2 brothers, 3 really good mates. The banter is fantastic. You know, we're putting these buggies and bikes through their paces, up and down cliff edges, and it's just an adrenaline-packed, fun adventure. So I've got to head home tomorrow. As I said, we have a cattle operation in central Queensland as well, which takes up a lot of my time. So I've got cattle at home I need to go home and look after. So that'll sign this trip off for me. This is a big bad world out there, but there's a hell of a lot of fun to have along the way. Take your good mates and your family with you, and it doesn't matter what happens along the way because you're going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it.
Well, we've finally gotten through the creek. We've come this way and not been able to get here for 4 days. And yesterday the owner showed us the road through. It's just so thick and you can take about 50 million different turns back there. So now we're on this side. Plan is flush this side of the creek. There's a national park up there and we're hoping that the pigs are going to be running from the national park into the creek. So hopefully we're going to get them on the move. So yeah, we're going to see how we go. But early morning hunt.
Yoo-hoo!
Fuck yeah! Look at this horse! That is a big bull. Yeah, boy! Look at the fucking boy! Yeah, boy! Holy! That is probably the biggest bull I've ever seen. So please feed, Yaraka.
Oh mate, I was sort of a little bit out in front of the boys, a bit close to the creek and probably about 80 or 90 metres away. I've just seen them come up out of a little bit of a washout and then I've called on the boys who had pigs on me, chucked the GoPro on and then managed to pull up just before the side of the creek and got one on top, and then as I started to run towards them I ran into a big washout. So I've ran down in the creek and as I've come into the main part of the river I've looked right and here's the whole mob. So I've laid a couple more down there and then they've run up over and that's when the boys got on them as well. So yeah, everybody got to be part of the team and have a go. Boys, there's a couple coming out over the top. First really positive start to the morning. Big boar and then we run into a big multi. Oh, yep.
So you going to get this boat or what?
If you had a glimpse inside my head, you'd know I'm different than you. Whoa,
What are the chances of us bloody shooting some pigs off the river in the boat?
Late this afternoon, you'd probably be onto something. You'd probably see something. You wouldn't know. You wouldn't actually know it till you go and have a look. You got 7K doing something.
How long ago was it when all the fish rose to the top?
Died here, got black water. Oh mate, that'll be going back nearly 10 years now. It's the only time it's ever happened. It happens a bit on the Thompson, and it's after a period of dry, you'll get it. It's basically, it's from like a lot of leaf infestation into if it's not a very big waterhole, it'll get a lot of vegetation. Yeah, and that just becomes toxic. And the whole thing, the whole, for 7K, wasn't a gap between a body. It was just all fish. We've had this whole boat in the floodwater, just the freeboarding was about there in the water. We had it full of stores, we had it full of peoples and everything else. Got this tinny out of the top of that tree over there. It only had about, it was probably 3/4 of the way up.
How'd you get it out?
Yeah, well that was the point. Saw it in the plane because I thought it was halfway to Windora and it wasn't. And then I thought, oh no, it's right. And then we thought, oh no, if we don't get the tinny out today and the river drops, how are we going to climb the tree 50 foot up and then get our tinny out? So I got on my surf ski, I paddled down the creek and got me tinny out. Plunger here. I think probably more than fish in this river, there's Ray-Ban sunglasses, Leathermans. It's always good when you're using someone else's spray can because it just goes forever. Yeah. And then you start using your own and go, oh, that'll do, that's enough. Don't squirt too much. Just annoys me though when there's people that, it's a feel-good system if you jump up and down sometime and wave a banner or get on social media and feel good that you just saved the world and done absolutely nothing different in your day. Yet when they had the opportunity in the drought to really do something different, like come and do something about all the native animals that were dying, no one did anything. It was in the middle of a drought, we were shifting cattle, we had to pick them up and shift them from bloody across to fresher country, basically, and it was a long walk, so we had to sort of start early, give them the middle of the day off. We pulled up, and we were pulled up for lunch and lie down under a tree and have an hour. And this bloody, little filly neck. As soon as we sort of pulled out our quart pots to boil the billy, splashed a bit of water, oh mate was just straight onto it. He was thirsty anyhow, just put me quart pot on the side like that and he ran round and had a drink. So then we dug a hole and tipped the last of our water into it and didn't worry about the quart pot. Tipped the last of our water into it in our bloody lunch wrapper, lined his little pool, put all the leaves and everything else over it so it wouldn't evaporate. And that was his water source. He would have water there for a week. Well, it rained in about 4 days' time, so he would have lived. And we just went thirsty for the rest of the day. But we felt good. I like saving bees. Find a bee and put a bit of sugar in your hand and spit in it and give him a feed and away you go. Probably sting you next time you ride past his nest, but
Awesome, boys. Well, we're going to shoot up here, up this river a bit, and we're going to find somewhere to throw a lure in, and if we see a pig, we'll shoot it off out of the boat on the back.
I think we got more chances of shooting a pig than we do catching a fish.
Oh, I don't know.
I really want to shoot a pig from a boat. I've never done that. I would love to get onto a few.
So we just rolled up on a mob of pigs. We're trying something different today. We've come on, what is this, the northern side of the boundary?
Yep.
Of the river?
Yep.
Which is in between a national park and the Big Barcoo River.
They've been listening to us go the other side every morning.
Look at these. Who's laughing now? Oh, so good.
Just gets the heart skip a beat.
You just don't feel the bumps anymore.
No, but that's what it's about, eh? Like you see a mob and it's on, your heart's pumping, you're going, your shit's going everywhere, and it's just the best fun. After you put in, what, 300 kilometers and not see one, it's a bloody good feeling. Especially that first boar, he was a big boar. It's probably the biggest boar I've ever shot. Like, he was thick.
Yeah, very thick.
Good tusks on him, good hooks.
I said 90 kilo.
Oh,
I reckon it's going to close to a tonner, hey?
he was pretty thick. I reckon, I'm just going to say 100.
I reckon I'm going to go 97, if not 100. I reckon he'll be tipping it. He's a big boy.
Yeah, big fella. But yeah, it is a good feeling. This is what we come for, and it's always a bonus when you get a pig. Not 100.
I tell you what, I feel vindicated because this is what it's normally like over the Oh, it's been pretty tough, you know.
We're worried about your bloody knowledge of this place enough, not seeing one for 3 days, but yeah, you got there in the
I think
end.
even enough was still a bit defeated.
I was, you know, I'm kicking stones and my bottom lip's out.
Chuck the teddy.
Throwing my toilet out the
This
guy.
pig's here.
Oh. Benny's not here today, but
Yes.
he's been sitting next to me going, it's all right enough, we're going to get pigs. We'll see these. Oh, bloody hell.
Well, we've definitely found them, so let's fucking get into it.
There. Right there, Jack.
Right there. He's just.
Yeah, let's go.
Move.
Well, mate, we've got about a 35 kilo sow. Jack flushed one down the creek there, and another couple have run up and across, so I've ended up on foot and off the shoulder at about 60 metres. Drop that one, there's one more, Jack. Looks like we've gone just in through the right shoulder there, so I'd say that how quick she dropped was probably gone in through to the heart there. So yeah, we're just slowly clearing up these pigs for the farmer. Such a great start, you know. The boys said we've done 300 odd Ks in the last 3 days and we've only seen one pig. So to come out this morning on daylight, work on a different side of the river, it's really paid off for us there. So change of tactics, keep doing the same thing, we weren't getting any results. So changing, heading over on the other side of the river has really paid off for us.
Oi, Nuff, you weren't wrong. There are pigs everywhere.
Thank you.
Redemption!
Oh mate, we've just gone to check out each pig that we've caught, and we spent 5-10 minutes getting photos of that one over there, and I've come and found this one in the grass. And as the boys on the buggy, Nuff was coming around the corner, I've heard this down in the river, so I've told them to cut the motor, and sure enough I heard it again. And yeah, Nuff's grabbed his 308 and I've grabbed my lever 223, and we've just popped over the ridge, and here's another mob of 5, so yeah, we've let fly with them and cleaned them up too. So yeah, that's just how it happens. Clearly this mob hadn't travelled very far after we got these first couple, so yeah, they tend to sort of hold up and find a safe space, and that's what they've done just over that ridge there.
She's all just air cooled, so all we're doing up here is fuel. Got to change hats for this job. We've all got these bloody, we've all got these dipsticks that are calibrated. Yeah, now go forward, yeah. Because your livestock's your first priority, your water and your livestock, and then you go from there, whatever you're doing. This is just your look checking for water, mate. Pre-flight. So we've done our documents. So with that mic, mate, you've got to get the damn thing right up in your mouth. Righto, it's 5:18. Go to Com 1 here for a second. Traffic Junda, Cessna 172, Juliet Delta Tango, taxi Jedburgh station for a local flight below 2000, Junda.
So I've just been up for a fly, had a bit of a fly over Jedburgh. It's a bit of a slow afternoon, a bit wind about, but Jeff's been kind enough as to take us up in the plane, so how long have you been flying, mate?
95, mate. We bought the place actually, and the plane came with it. Just gives you mobility, you know, if you need to go to town, if you've got to go to town for parts or whatever, you can just jump the plane and you can be in Longridge in an hour, Blackall in an hour, you know, Charleville's not much further.
Have you ever flown to town to get an ice cream?
I've gone in there to get Kinder surprises.
For the kids.
I have flown to Blackall to get a load of Easter eggs. Yeah, I have. There's been a lot of things I've flown for, and probably a lot of them at the time, yeah, we were flooded in and it was Easter, and I rang up a mate and I got him to go down to the newsagent and buy me a bigger box of Easter eggs, and I flew to town and picked them up. So yeah. Oh, look, you pick people up in floods, you check stock for people. You do whatever you can in a community to help people, and you know, it's just what goes around comes around, you know. You just do what you can do to help. But for us running the place, it's magnificent. We can keep an eye on everything. We can keep an eye on our fences, waters. Whatever we need to do, we can do it at daylight in the morning. Takes about an hour, and then we can go ahead and do whatever we're doing for the day. When I started flying, it was when blokes, probably the best fellas in the industry, were getting into their twilight years, as in the flying game. I had, there was Bill Ballinger, and there was Sandy Kidd, and there was Mac Patterson. Probably three of the most outstanding bush pilots you'd ever see. And they were my mentors, you know. They told you what you couldn't do and what you weren't allowed to do, and why you couldn't do it. Sandy Kidd told me, and he had tens of thousands of hours, and I asked him one day how many hours he had, and he said to me, boy, I'll tell you one thing, there's only 1 hour that's important in your life, and that's the next one you're facing. He said, don't worry how many tens of thousands you got behind you. He said, the ones in front of the ones you got to worry about. And that's what I've always done, yeah.
We reckon enough.
Oh,
Good
mate.
morning, mate.
Yeah, pretty exciting, mate. It's making memories sort of stuff, this is. Get organised last night properly, make sure we're ready to go, get up at 5 and be, you know, out here just after daybreak. Unfortunately, we slept in by about 40 minutes, which sometimes happens when you forget to set an alarm and you've had a few rums the night before, but luckily we had Murph, the fireman, on the job, and he's kicking us in the gut saying, come on boys, let's go. And just, yeah, pretty excited we got across here. The light was just magnificent. You know, the first couple of 100 metres you're starting to see fresh pig tracks and sign, and you know, that's amazing, because the last few days we haven't seen as much, really old stuff, and I think the boys were starting to really question whether I knew there was pigs here or not. But yeah, we just poked down the river here, and you're just trying to get all those pigs that are flushing out of this flat country and out of the park that we call. It's an old property that got turned into a national park, and they're all heading back down into the creek, feeding along these little gullies, and you know, we just run into them every sort of couple of 100 metres or K. We've seen different pigs, so yeah, it's pretty amazing. So pretty lucky with this fella. I've been the buggy driver, and you don't get to do much shooting with that because you're trying to watch for these washouts and stuff, but got this one coming out of the creek with the old trusty Weatherby Vanguard 308 that I bought as soon as I turned 18. Very happy.
That's a big pig. There's a lot of pigs, but I think Jacko's definitely got the biggest ball now for our group by a mile. 104 kilos. That is the biggest ball I've ever shot. A big pig. Yeah, boys. That's Channel Country boar there. Yep. And when we came in, there was a huge big eagle sitting on him, eating him. So, episode 1 survived. Yeah! I was worried that we wouldn't have any good pig content for our first trip, but today has literally turned it up.
These tusks are razor sharp. This is why, like, when you're hunting with dogs, it's so dangerous for the dogs and for humans, because these things can move quickly and they just spin and swipe.
Tell you what, the old adrenaline's been up and down.
Oh yeah!
That's why we do it, eh?
Big pig. cracked 80. Happy days. Good morning, Piggin. So yeah, thanks big fella.